I just wanted to give you a quick list here of the operators for the addition, subtraction, divide, and modulus. If you're not familiar with modulus, basically it's used in integer math and it returns the remainder. I want to show you here the comparative operators, and basically we use to check the comparative operators to see if something is true. And I want to point out just a couple things here. Equals, if we want to compare equality, it's equal equals. Okay, you'll notice on the slide here it's not x equal y. Okay, that will always be true because we're assigning the value of y to x every time, and that will always be true. So if we need to check equality, it's going to be x equal y, not x equal y. So watch that. That'll catch you. Not equal, if you're not familiar with that, is exclamation point equal. And then the rest of them look pretty much like you've seen in math. I do want to point out to you here, if you're using the greater than or less than equal signs, so if we're doing greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, there is no space between the signs. So it's greater than equal with no space, or greater than equal and no space. I just want to throw out a couple of the logical operators here, the two common ones, and and or. There's a couple more out there, but I just want to talk about and or for right now. And basically we either see them as one and, or the double and sign, or the or is the logical or is designated as a pipe, the vertical up and down, or a double pipe. Okay, so what's the rub? What's the difference? If the double and or the double pipe is used, when it reads that expression from left to right, if that first expression is false, then it's not going to look at the right hand side on that. So sometimes it's called short circuiting. Sometimes it can have some nuances in your programming on that. But that's the difference on that. We're going to see these in action later on when we get into iteration and loops. I just want to talk a little bit here about the order of operations, and as you can see here I've got them sort of listed from top down. So they're going to do the increment and decrement first, followed by our arithmetic operations, then our comparison, logical operators, and assignment expressions. So it just follows the same logic that you've seen in math. Concatenation is the action of putting two or more strings together. So for instance here, you can see here we're putting Bubba in the F name variable, Smith in the L name variable, and so we're going to actually build a full name. So we're going to do F name plus quote space quotes L name. So the quote space quote, that's actually going to put the space between the name. If we needed to separate them with a dash, it would be quote dash quote. Or if we needed to separate them with a comma, it would be quote comma quote. So concatenation using the plus sign, and this is how we build strings in Java. A lot of times when we code, we need to increase a variable by 1 or decrease the value of a variable by 1. So there's a couple of little shortcuts here. To increment, meaning to add 1, we can do like the variable name plus plus. So we can do like x plus plus or y plus plus, and that will take the variable up by 1. Or if we need to subtract by 1, we can do like x minus minus or y minus minus. That's all there is to it. So a lot of times they're used in loops where we need to count, and this is an easy shorthand way of doing it. The other way you would do the very same thing if you wanted to write it out longer, it would be x equals x plus 1 or x equals x minus 1. So the x plus plus is a lot quicker, and it's a nice shorthand way of incrementing and decrementing our variables.